Hello, everybody. This is Carol Maletta. Welcome to the Parenting 411 podcast, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. Today, we're joined by Renaye Thornborrow, founder of Adventures in Wisdom, a pioneer in life coaching for kids. Since her launching of the company in 2013, she has certified hundreds of coaches across 30 countries, championing a unique story-based coaching curriculum. She's a dedicated personal development expert, and she's not only a member of the International Coaching Federation, but also a former board member of the Association of Coach Training Organizations. She's a retired corporate marketing executive and the proud mother of 20-year-old twins, a son and daughter. And families, schools, and communities around the world owe her a debt of gratitude for her impact as she's reshaping the way children understand and harness the power of their mindsets. So let's explore the transformative world of life coaching for kids with Renaye Thornborrow. Hello, Renaye.
Thanks for having me, Carol.
Yes, I'm glad to have you here. I really like the topic a lot. So, for some folks that kind of understand life coaching for adults, they're wondering how that works for children and why children need life coaching. So why don't you tell us what it is when you think about kids and how does it help them?
Yeah, so life coaching for kids is all about mindset development. So really helping our kids develop the mindset skills for confidence, for self-esteem, for learning how to set and achieve their goals and self-leadership, and just plain happiness. And it really is powerful for children when they learn how to use the power of their thoughts and the power of their mind to be confident and prepared to walk in the world with their head held high and ready to handle anything that comes their way.
Yeah, I would think it really helps to make them very resourceful and also give them a sense that they really have a little more control in their lives than they think, because I'm sure they tend to think the adults, they have all the power, they boss us around, they're bigger than us, and all of that, and life is just kind of happening to them. But it seems like with life coaching, they can learn a little bit sooner that they do have some control and can make decisions even at an early age about what happens in their lives.
Yeah, I love what you just shared. We actually have a skill book about teaching self-responsibility. And that's exactly what it talks about. It talks about the fact that so many kids feel like the adults in their lives are making the decisions, the parents, teachers, coaches. And when they realize that when they take self-responsibility for things, whether it's their household responsibilities, their homework, going to practice in preparation for whatever extracurricular activities they do, etc., that they get to be the boss of me. So, I am the boss of me. And it's a really powerful story that helps illustrate to kids just how powerful it is when they take a self-responsibility and ownership for those things in life, and helps them feel more in control and more empowered in their lives.
And that's really what they're looking for from us. We've been here before. So,
Yeah.
we need to tell them the rules of the road and give them some guideposts. And obviously, we're still the leaders of the family, but
Right.
little by little, day by day, we should be preparing them for when they're going to be independent. So,
Oh, 100%, Carol. I mean, when our kids are born, we're making 100% of the decisions for them.
mhm.
But as they get older, what we want to do, our job as parents, is to turn over as much decision-making responsibility to them, of course, within guidelines and guidance, so
Mhm.
that they are making decisions for themselves. And we actually teach a framework for
Mhm.
kids so they can learn how to make good decisions for themselves. And they can decide what they want for themselves as far as their values and what they want in their lives, their vision, so that they're not just deciding on a whim when they're having negative peer pressure. Oh, I don't know what I want. They
Right.
decide this beforehand, because we want kids making as many decisions as they can before they're out there on their own. Before high school and they're out driving on their own, or they're doing overnight trips, and certainly college or graduating and off in the working world where they are 100% responsible. So make those decisions and mistakes when they're younger,
Mhm.
and then they're going to be confident, prepared to navigate life as they get older. And they're also more likely to come back to you as a parent as asking for guidance and asking for input because they've had an opportunity to learn on their own as well.
So what inspired you to bring life coaching to kids?
Well, it really was when I had my own children, Carol, but the seed was planted so many years ago when I discovered the world of personal development right out of college. And I remember thinking to myself, why didn't I learn this when I was a kid? It made no sense to me that the life coaching world, personal development world focuses on grown-ups when those core thoughts and beliefs that shape who we are, what we think is possible for ourselves are formed when we're so young. So I knew that I wanted my kids to learn this at a young age. And over the years, when I was much younger, I became an expert in personal development. That really was my hobby. And I used my skills to create very successful corporate career, happy, fulfilling marriage and relationships. And when my kids were born, I couldn't find anything out there to teach them about mindset skills. There's plenty out there on how to get my kids to behave, a few things on character development, but nothing on mindset development. And so I started writing stories for my kids. And that's really when the magic happened, because they not only got they love the stories, but they really started learning the concepts. And just the vision grew from there. It's like, well, I want to bring this to other children too. And here we are 12 years later, and it's been an amazing journey. And I'm so honored that so many coaches around the world are using a curriculum I wrote 12, 13 years ago to help create transformation in families around the world.
And I think another question that comes up sometimes when we hear about coaching is, how is it different from counseling, for example?
And it's a really important distinction, Carol, because if you look at mental health on a spectrum, you have mental wellness on one side, and then you have mental illness on the other side. Well, counselors and therapists tend to focus on the mental illness side, really supporting children who are more in crisis and getting back to a state of mental health, being able to function and navigate in life and eventually thrive. Life coaches focus on this mental wellness side. We're proactively helping kids develop these mindset skills for confidence, for resilience and coping skills. They can learn how to navigate those ups and downs of growing up that all kids are going to face as they're going through school and peer and relationships and siblings and all that kind of stuff. And learning how to set and achieve their goals, learning about things like gratitude and affirmations and visualization and things that really support them in creating their dreams.
And so then what does it look like when a life coach is working with a child then?
Yeah, well, the way that coaching kids is different from coaching adults. So that's one thing that's really important. If we have anybody who's watching, who's either a coach, or maybe you've worked with a coach, we may have parents who are watching here who's worked with a coach. And coaching adults tends to rely very heavily on asking questions. Our client has all the answers inside. It's a very different model than what we use for kids. And it's different from coaching kids is different from adults because of brain development. A child's brain's not fully developed. They can't process these questions in a way that adults do. So as a result, we need to lay kind of this foundation of knowledge about mindset skills and how they work and how to apply them to their lives before we start exploring questions and support them in applying things to their life. So what we use at Adventures in Wisdom are coaching stories written in a fable format that help illustrate different mindset skills, such as the self-responsibility we talked about earlier, or decision-making. We have a whole skill book just on that. And so we're really supporting kids in understanding what these skills are through the power of story. And then from there, the coach, by creating this emotionally safe space, working with this child, supports them in applying it to their own lives. And our coaches work with kids in different ways. Most of them will work one-on-one. Sometimes they'll do small group coaching, and even sometimes workshops. Workshops is more of a teaching environment, whereas one-on-one, that's going to be more of a coaching where you're really supporting a child in developing or creating transformation in their lives.
We'll be right back after this. If you're looking to reach a massive audience of parents and caregivers, then look no further than ProPix by the Parenting 411, the ultimate marketing program designed to skyrocket your brand to new heights. With ProPix, we've created 3 incredible packages to suit your marketing needs and budget. So let's take a look. First up is our social starter package. You'll receive a stunning graphic promo piece, plus we'll also feature your brand on the Parenting 411 Instagram page. It's the perfect way to make a memorable first impression and get parents buzzing about your business. Now, if you're ready to level up, our Parenting Pro package is where it's at. You'll enjoy all the benefits of the social starter package, plus more awesome benefits, including exposure on the Parenting 411 podcast, which reaches parents in more than 22 countries each week. But wait, there's more. For those seeking the pinnacle of marketing power, our Elite Exposure package is the way to go. You'll get even more exposure across our platform, including thousands of followers and connections on LinkedIn. Get ready to dominate the airwaves and establish yourself as the go-to resource for families everywhere. Take advantage of Pro Picks by the Parenting 411 today and unlock unparalleled marketing opportunities for your business. But I should tell you that prices are set to increase on November 1st, so act now. Pro Picks by the Parenting 411 is your passport to the hearts and minds of parents. Visit ProPicksbyP411.com. Join us today and watch the magic happen. And we're back with the Parenting 411. Now, of course, we're in this modern digital age where children are very tech savvy and very addicted to their screens. How do you keep kids engaged in this process of life coaching and making it relevant to them? And I wonder too, if your curriculum or your sessions kind of talk about having a discipline around devices and helping them to develop self-discipline around devices.
Yeah, there's several stages here. First of all, coaching is all about human to human connection. So our coaches work live with a child. Now, sometimes live might mean online, but they work live with a child. You're not going to find our stuff on apps or videos, because as soon as a child is in front of a video, they transition from the active part of their brain to a passive part of their brain, and we're not engaging them. So what we want to do is have that human connection to explore with them so they can really understand how these skills work and they can apply them to their own lives. And it's not just a matter of sharing a story. We have discussion questions. We have multisensory activities. A lot of them are art projects. And activities and things will vary depending on the age of the child that a coach is working with. Most of our coaches will work with between about the ages of 6 through 13, 14, but some of our coaches work with the littles, a little bit younger than that, and some of them even work with teens. It really depends on what their skill set is, but it really is about that human connection engagement that our kids really are craving. They're not getting that as much. Even in school, you don't even have textbooks anymore. It's all online for a lot of schools. So it's just getting them to get more in touch with human beings, conversations, and these people skills that are going to be so critical as they move towards getting jobs and functioning really as an adult eventually in life. And as far as addressing technology and social media, a lot of our coaches will have conversations with kids about that, especially as they're getting older and they start getting their phones for the first time. And a big thing that we work with children is around self-esteem. And one of the traps that will crush self-esteem is comparison. And nothing creates comparison more than social media. People see these pictures that people are posting of their very best self or the life of their dreams or whatever, but we're not seeing reality. And so people are comparing other people's outsides to their own insides, and as a result, they're feeling less about themselves. And so we do have a lot of conversations with kids about those topics.
That's good. And especially that part. I mean, it's not just about managing your time on the devices, but really understanding social media and what's going on there. So that's very good to incorporate that as well. Can you share some examples of how life coaching has really helped kids?
Oh gosh, we have so many of them. I mean, I have a great case study on our website about this little boy named Tyler, and he was someone who was really wanting to make friends. He was very, very shy. He had trouble making eye contact with the coach when he first met the coach, just very, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem. He wanted to make friends. And he lived in a high-rise apartment building, and he would watch out the window and see the boys playing in the play yard and want to play with them, but he was afraid. He didn't know how to talk to them. He didn't have confidence in himself. So the coach really worked with him on developing his confidence. And one of the things that we do with our kids is that we work with them on what we call stretch activities. So stretching outside of their comfort zone. We always help kids understand the brain science behind what's going on, but whether it's self-esteem, confidence. So for example, with confidence, when people stay in their comfort zone, then where they're feeling comfortable, they're going to feel uncomfortable whenever they're doing something new because they're stretching outside of their comfort zone. We want them to understand that, because they don't have, and what happens is our comfort zone is defined by the neural pathways in our brain. So those are the connections in our brain that help us understand the world. So if he's comfortable being up in his room, those are really strong neural pathways. Going out and asking other kids if he can play with them, that's not, he doesn't have neural pathways for that. His brain doesn't know how to handle that. So it puts his whole body on alert, his mind on alert, because it's like, outside of my comfort zone, no neural pathways. You got to build those up. Well, the nice thing about confidence is that confidence begets confidence. The more you practice confidence, the more confidence you can be in all areas of your life. So our coaches really work with kids on what we call stretch activities. So they'll work with the kid, they'll brainstorm different activities that make them feel uncomfortable. They'll have them stretch outside their comfort zone, and the kids will practice that to help practice building neural pathways for being uncomfortable. And it doesn't mean that comfort ever is going to really go away. I mean, it doesn't, even as adults, right? Whenever you are doing something new, I'm doing something new, we're going to feel uncomfortable because we don't have that map in our brain, those neural pathways. So for him, one of his stretches they decided to do was for him to go to a coffee shop, and he was going to introduce himself to other people and find out what they like to do, what their hobbies were.
Okay.
And so, isn't that amazing? And he was, I think he was 10 years old, if I remember correctly. We actually have a picture of him during his stretch activity on our website underneath the success stories. So he went to the coffee shop and he talked to several grown-ups. He even talked to some teenagers, and he actually got comfortable talking to other kids. And what was really neat about his story, Carol, is that he started building confidence, and then he started putting himself on his own stretch activities. So not even waiting for the coach, but started doing things on his own to help build his confidence. And eventually he did meet the boys and, made new playmates, and, became part of the fun on the playground too. So it's just gives an example of how mindset skills can support kids in building their confidence.
There was something that you said where you talked about how if you're not challenged, if you stay in your comfort zone, you don't have the pathways for uncomfortable situations. And I think that right there is just another reason why we as parents should make sure we are not always rushing to the rescue with our children and giving them these opportunities to confront challenges, be creative with solutions and that kind of thing, because not only is it helping them to be more responsible, and be responsible individuals and have certain skills on the outside, but it's what's going on the inside that's really, really powerful. So I like that you shared that. How can parents work with one of your coaches?
Oh, so all they have to do is go to our website, which is adventuresinwisdom.com. Up at the top, there's a tab that says for parents. We have a directory there, but of course, there's a lot of coaches to look through and you don't know who has availability. So the best way is to fill out a form. We call it Connect with the Coach. You can just fill out the form and say, hey, this is the situation, the age of the child, type of person you're looking for, whether you're open to online coaching or you just want in-person coaching. And then for coaches who have availability, they'll look to see if they think they're a good fit. And if so, they will respond directly to the parent. And then the relationship is between the parent and the coach for them to decide whether or not they want to work together on that.
And so how do you ensure that your coaches are continuing to grow and learn and develop and provide the kind of service that you expect and that you certainly because of the certification that you provide?
Right. Oh, yeah. Continuing education is so important, and we have such a strong community. We have a private Facebook group. We have hundreds of coaches in there from around the world where we're constantly sharing ideas and thoughts and getting feedback. other resources we can bring in. If someone has a situation with a child and they want to check in on the best way to approach that, they just post that. We have multiple coaches that can respond and support each other. So community is a really big way that we do that. We also have ongoing Q&A calls with our coaches, and where we have an opportunity to either bring new information, answer their questions, and just building community around that.
And what can you share with parents that they could try out at home tonight in terms of beginning to coach their children?
Yeah. Well, we always love for people to experience our curriculum. And so we actually have a free coaching story that we give away on our website. So again, adventuresandwisdom.com. Up at the very top, you'll see a tab that says free story. And all they have to do is opt in there and they can get a free story, download it today, have story time tonight, and you can be teaching the children in your life about developing positive self-talk. And these are always aha moments for the grown-ups too. It really is great connection time for the family.
So you shared your website, and why don't you do that one more time just to make sure? And
Yeah, I
then
probably had to say it a little slower too.
yes, share your website and
Yeah.
as well as your social media handles.
Yes. So adventuresinwisdom.com is the main thing. Social media handles, I think our Facebook is Adventures in Wisdom fan page. Probably the best thing to do, just go to adventuresinwisdom.com. Up in the upper right-hand corner, we've got the different social media icons.
Okay.
And you can connect that way, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel as well. You see a lot of case studies there and interviews with some of our coaches and type of work or success they've been having with kids. It really is amazing. I'm so proud of the work that they're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And I think this is important work that you're doing because we're sending these children off into the world. They're our future leaders. We've got a lot of problems in this world. We need we need a generation of leaders that are going to be able to help turn this thing around. But thank you again. Thank you to our listeners. By all means, visit adventuresinwisdom.com, learn more about what Renaye offers and the coaches and that are part of her community that can really provide some excellent resources for you and your family. As usual, follow the Parenting 411 on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube. And if you would like to watch this interview on video, of course, you can see it on our YouTube channel and continue to listen to episodes of the Parenting 411 on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. Share this episode with your friends so that they too can tap into the creativity and ingenuity of their children to really cultivate that in them. And Renaye and her team have some resources that can help with that. And as always, remember that it's never too late to be the parent that you want to be. Thanks a lot for listening.